things happen. The officials, I wouldn't want their job. It's tough. You have a lot of big bodies flying around, and just imagine somebody that's running really fast and big bodies, and you have to make a call. That's very tough. My hat's off to those guys for doing the things they do. It's good things, bad things, and I tell our players this: let's just go play football. Don't worry about the what ifs. Just do your job to the best of your ability, as fast as you can do it. And when you do those things, good things will happen for you.
Vance, what did Hassan show you against Oklahoma State that he hadn't shown previously?
Well, he played the same way versus Cal. He was physical, fast, aggressive, the things we need him to do. That was Malcolm Brown for us last year. You look at our team right now, we have a lot of guys on defense that's under 20 years old, and they're out there playing, and they make a lot of plays. They also miss a lot of plays because they are under 20 years old, hadn't been here very long. So Hassan needs to be our leader. And last week, we had a timeout. He said, "Coach, can I do such and such thing?" I looked at Hassan. I looked up. I said, "You know what? Hey, big fella, go do what you do. Don't worry about what I say. You go do what you do and continue to do it to your best of your ability." And that's what he did for us.
Coach, when you look at how your young DBs played, when you put them in, especially after that second touchdown, do you have to maybe think about maybe even starting those guys and just letting those young guys loose?
Yeah, we're going to play guys who can make plays for us. You go back to the Cal game, and Vaccaro and P.J. Locke come in there who did not expect to play. And then you look at last week, we've been playing the freshman corners more and more every week. And Holton Hill went in there, had a nice interception. If he was 5'10", that ball would have been over his head. He's 6'2 1/2. Devontae Davis had one down the sideline, was out of bounds. If he was 5'10", he would have never gotten his hands on the ball. You look at Chris Boyd, got his hands on the ball. So we have 3 young players getting their hands on the ball. So productive players play. And we're going to play those guys more and more each ball game. They get more and more experience each ball game.
Davis healthy to play this week?
It's who?
Davis.
He had a good week of practice yesterday. He's going to play quite a bit. Holton Hill's going to play quite a bit. Chris Boyd going to play quite a bit. The fun thing about it is that I'm on the sideline talking to the guys in the press box and trying to coach those guys at the same time as far as how to get a line, inside, outside depth, and that's what you're going with young kids sometimes.
And Josh Doxton here's the opposing defense coordinator say the 3 true freshmen are going to play a lot of corner.
If I was Josh, I'd be jumping up and down. I'd be like to rub my hands. It's new meat for me today if I'm Josh. I was telling some guys just now, Josh reminds me of a young guy we had at Louisville named Devontae Parker. Same number, size, speed, strength, acrobatic catches. That's what he reminds me of. He's a go-to guy. And for Boykin, if the game on the line, he's doubled. Guess where the ball was going? Against Texas Tech, my man, they had double coverage on him. He still went to him, but you know what? He has confidence in him. So we know he's going to get the football. Trying to stop him, well, it could be tough, but we're going to do our very best.
People volunteering to cover him one-on-one?
I volunteer, but I'm too old and disabled. Bad back, knees, shoulders, everything hurt right now. So I had to pass it on to the young guys and see what they can do.
To go from Goff, Rudolph, Boykin, Mayfield, no days off in the schedule for you guys?
Well, that's what the Big 12 is all about, isn't it? You're going to play the best of the best offensively. They're going to spread you out. You're going to play outstanding receivers, outstanding quarterbacks. It's a lot of one-on-one. That's why, in my opinion, you should come to the University of Texas. We're going to get better at defense. We're not playing good defense right now. We're going to get better. And if you want to play good defense, come join us. Come play some man-to-man. Let's lock some guys down. Let the front go rush the passer. That's what we're looking for when we're looking for recruiting right now. You want a chance to play? Look who we're playing right now. A lot of guys under 20 years old.
Vance, can you assess Wheeler's play on Saturday, and how much do you need him to step up with Ed out right now?
Another guy under 20 years old that, like Earl Bruce used to say, he don't know that he don't know, and that's the best thing about it. He's out there and running around. He made some mistakes, but he made some plays. Wheeler's going to be an outstanding football player here at the University of Texas for a long time to come. Right now, he's just going through some growing pains, but you know what he's doing? He's playing hard and fast, and you go to practice and watch his face. He looks at you, and he just smiles. And it makes me feel good because he feels very comfortable in his own skin about who he is and what he has to do.
Coach, why has the defense been so much more efficient in the fourth quarter than it has been the rest of the game?
That's a good question. I wish I had an answer for that, but I don't. I mean, as the game goes on, I think the kids that are playing are starting to understand what they have to do. Again, I'm going to go back to the Cal game. Cal was trying to take time off the clock. They're trying to slow the game down because it was Hurd was doing offensively. And that gave us a chance to get after them up front. They went more conventional, and that played right into our hands for our young guys. Last week, our defensive line did such a tremendous job up front. They were trying to protect their quarterback. So, again, it somehow played into our hands defensively to give us a chance to play. And I told the defensive guys this Sunday, I told them this also yesterday, is that we cannot start any ball game out in the first quarter giving up 2 drives for 14 points, and you can't give up a 98-yard a drive for another touchdown. So that's the game right there. I say, quit listening to all the people out there why we lost the ball game. That's why we lost the ball game. So we got to grow up and play good defense from the opening kickoff to the fourth quarter, as you just said. That's what it's all about. And that comes back to being fundamentally sound. If it's 3rd down and 12, drop 12 yards deep, make them throw it in front of you and tackle a football and get off the football field.
Vance, the improvement in the run defense market, obviously in this last game, what was the biggest reason for the improvement in the run defense this week?
You guys ask me questions I never can give the defense credit. I mean, they came in wanting to throw the football. They did. I mean, you look at the first 15 minutes, they didn't know what a run was. Then all of a sudden we started getting pressure on the quarterbacks. They went to the run, and they struggled running the football. And again, they couldn't block Hassan Ridgeway. When he went, you couldn't block him. And I would love to be a linebacker behind a guy that's a big physical person as Hassan is. Now he's free to the football. They couldn't get guys on our linebackers because of what the front four was doing. And we were able to play a little bit more zone. And when you have 6 guys in the box, if you check and you should run the football, and our defensive line at that point in time was just a little bit better than their offensive line.
Vance, after losing 2 games the way you lost them 2 games in a row, what does Charlie say to you guys as a staff, and how is he kind of holding up as a head coach of this team right now?
Coach Strong is the same 365 days out of the year. He's going to come in, he's going to get his run in every morning, he's going to lift weights every day. He's the same. His biggest thing is this, guys, we got to continue to take positive steps. We got to have pride in who we are, why we're here, and now let's get back to the fundamentals. That's how you win ball games. Let's do the details right. If you get those things done, the games eventually, the wins, it's going to come, it's going to take care of ourselves. And that's what we're doing right now. We take it one day at a time. We're not looking back and say what happened yesterday. Nothing you can do about yesterday. Let's take care of the day and get better. And those are things we do every day in practice. That's what he tells to the coaching staff. That's what he says to the team. Let's go win today. Let's build momentum today. And so now when you get to the game day, we're heading in the right direction.
Coach,
Go ahead, Dan.
is Boykin weak? Is this guy better than he was last year? And looking at last year's tape against the Frogs and Boykin, have you thrown it away, or do you look at it and we can stop this guy this year?
Can we stop this guy? You can't stop this guy. I mean, he's that good. He's grown up so much, it's not even funny. Last year, he would lock on the receiver and stare him down. This year, he's looking guys off. He's going to the second and third read, and now he scrambles to throw the football. Last year, he scrambled to run the football. He's grown up tremendously, which really makes you nervous. Sometimes if a guy's just going to pull the ball down and run it, you eliminate big throws in the pass game. Now he scrambles. He's looking downfield to throw the deep shot. It makes you a little bit nervous. So we got to do a great job of containing him and locking down our coverages in the back end. So, like I said, he's a video game quarterback. They spread you out, and he can make plays with his feet and with his arm.
Do you feel like your identity defensively is shaping up yet?
I'm trying to figure out who I am sometimes when I get out of bed every morning. I put my feet on, and, I got a little dog right now. You know that, right? That dog likes me no matter what. I got to get up. I take him outside every morning, let him go to the restroom. So my wife wants to get up, and I look at him, he look at me, he smiles. So right now, I don't know who we are. I don't know who I am, But I know one thing, we working hard. We're trying to dig ourselves out of a hole right now. And the biggest thing I tell these guys is that we're close. And we got to keep fighting. We're in a hole. Let's dig ourselves out of the hole. And let's get it done from the opening kickoff. Are they going to make plays on us this coming Saturday? Of course. Just think about this. They were in a rainstorm last week. They had 109 plays and no turnovers. That's unheard of. I mean, I was telling Coach Strong just now, how in a rainstorm, 109 plays, not a single turnover. I mean, if it wasn't so cold in this building, I'd be sweating right now. That's the only thing that's keeping me calm. It's just cold in this building. But our hands are going to be full. I mean, it's a scary situation. The best way to beat them is, it's like my old coaches say, keep the defense on the sideline. And I think we have a great offensive plan, and Hurd is ready to go. And they're going to move the ball, hopefully, and keep us fresh. And we get to the fourth quarter and see what happens.
Vance, Chris Spielman said today, there's no way a receiver should be able to make 18 catches in a game. Your thoughts on that, and could that ever happen against your defense?
Well, first of all, it's not my defense. I know people try to say it's mine, good, bad, or indifferent. It's the University of Texas defense. Hopefully, it won't happen. But he was targeted a lot by Boykin. He really was. And he made plays. And you look at what they do. They spread you from numbers to numbers. So it's a lot of isolation routes. And when you isolate it, it's one-on-one routes. And as soon as Boykin sees that, he has a tendency to go to him. So if you're going to throw that kid's way 20, 25 times, he can come down with 18 catches. And now, with certain injuries to two of their receivers, I would imagine they're going to find even more ways to get him the football. You hate to say somebody can catch the ball 18 times, and I know what Spielman said, but in this day and age, it can happen. It's a different era. And you go back 20 years ago, people weren't throwing the ball 60 times a game. You throw it 60 times a game, it's a chance a guy can make 18 catches. And that's what you're seeing across this country, all over the place right now, from USC to Florida State and everything in between. The ball's in there a lot more than what it was 20 years ago. People are more concerned with throwing the football than running the football. We were just looking at the first 4 games a little while ago, and against Texas Tech, the number's not right, but out of the first 14 plays, I think there might have been 3 runs. Looked at Minnesota, out of the first 12 plays, there was 2 runs. Stephen F. Austin was about the same. So they start off, they're throwing the football. So if you're throwing it that way, they can have those kind of completions.
Last year, Quandre, was up against Doxson. It seemed quite a bit, some big plays made by size. This year, you bring in a Holden Hill for a guy like this, right?
You do, but is Holden Hill ready to go out and cover Josh, who's 6'3", who's 210 pounds, and who's been playing ball for a while? You have a young freshman out of high school that a strong wind can blow him away, and you got a physical specimen who's been in college for a while. I mean, I'm talking about, is it Superman going against Clark Kent? That's what I see right now. I mean, my man, Superman, I got Clark Kent out there trying to cover him. I mean, it's flip a coin and, get on my knees and say a prayer.
Coach, anyway, so Coach, you guys, you just threw me up because you couldn't want kryptonite with that. But last year you guys said if you were winning, that would help you, as far as recruiting goes. When you're sitting at 1-3, what's your message, to those guys who are out there? Opportunity
To come in and play. We play freshmen. People always say, well, Coach Bedford don't like freshmen. He's in the NFL. He don't like rookies. You know why I don't like them? They're going to make mistakes. But at the same time, I know they could be the future of the program to help you become a better football team. That's what it's all about. And let's be for real. It's Baylor has won the conference 2 years in a row, and I've said this 1,000 times. You heard me say, I think Art Browse has not done a good job. I think he's done an outstanding job. I think Coach Patterson's done a tremendous job. You look at Texas Tech, what they accomplished this year, a tremendous job. At the same time, it's still the University of Texas. Why would you not want to come to Austin, Texas? Tell me. I mean, them other towns are great towns. But if I'm 30 years old, I'm going to live in Austin, Texas compared to them other places. That's just me, but, I'm old, so it makes no sense. The next thing is, one of the best educations in the country. Why would you not want to come and get a degree from the University of Texas? When I first got here, I used to go in the month of May recruiting and go in the counselor's office while I would wait for a coach to come up and find me. And be a person sitting there and say, where you going to school? Well, I'm going to such and such. So why are you going there? Well, I wanted to go to the University of Texas, but I wasn't able to get in. So at the same time, if you are truly a student athlete and academics is truly important to you, why would you not want to get an education from one of the best universities in the country and one of the best cities in the country? 101,000. I mean, I just stole myself. Can I sign me up right now? I'm good to go. Take off about 30 years. I'll go out there and play right now at the University of Texas with Coach Strong. That's just me. Go ahead.
Why don't you have more commitments? Because that does resonate with a lot of people.
It does. Last year, we didn't have very many either, if you remember. Right. At this point in time, we didn't. We still old guys doing old-fashioned recruiting, going down to the wire. You remember last year, most of our recruits that came to the University of Texas, we didn't get them committed until January. Because we're still in the evaluation process. There's certain guys we didn't offer until October and November, and of course everybody, well, it's too late. You know when it's too late? When they sat on the dotted line to go someplace else. That's when it's too late. I mean, so nothing has changed from this year to last year, but because of the University of Texas and we don't offer 500 people like a lot of schools do, people say, well, in the past, well, you can't live in the past. You got to live in the precious present today. And we're going to continue to work hard and recruit and evaluate guys and wait till some of them wait till they're seniors. Sometimes guys don't develop until late. There are a lot of players left the state of Texas that developed late their junior year, or they had great senior years, and they had at USC and UCLA and Miami, and we were filled up here. We wish we had the opportunity to go back and get those guys, but we couldn't. There are guys in this state that's going to develop a little bit later, and hopefully you have some spots left to go get them. So we're going through the same thing we did last year. And last year it turned out halfway decent. I'm excited about the guys that we signed. They playing decent ball. You know, hopefully we get to a point where them freshmen are special team players. They're not playing a lot for us. Right now we're just in a situation where young guys have to play. I don't know if that's good or bad. That's just where we are at this time.
Hey, Vince, you got Chris Vaughn sending out these messages to recruits and stuff. Why haven't you thought of anything clever for these guys?
Well, he's young, he's clever. I'm old and decrepit. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, I don't know anything about computers. I turn it on and he turns off for me. I mean, I don't know what to do with a computer. My man is an artist. You're to see some of the things that he can design. I mean, he is an outstanding football coach, but he is in advertising and something of that nature. My man, I think, will be special. I mean, I can't do those things. I'm polka dot trying to type things up. My man, I mean, it's just a scary situation. I hit the wrong button, everything go blank. So, no, I can't do that. I'm just too old for it, I guess.
When you tell the players that they're close, Vance, that they're close, when you tell them that, what do you tell them that's based on?
I got to be honest. I'm not one of those guys that say you're close. I tell them like this: we're playing horseshoes and darts. Close mean you got a chance to win. I'm trying to hit right down the middle of that target. Right now, I just tell them, we got to keep working hard because it's not good enough. Good enough means on third down to 15, you have 15 yards deep and you break, then that's good enough. So close gets you beat, and that's where we are right now. We got to be a lot better than close. We got to hit the center target right now. We got to make plays when we have a chance to make it. We got a chance to sack the quarterback. You go back to Saturday on that one drive, we have 2 missed sacks. The quarterback scrambled for a touchdown. It was close to having a sack. No, close. You didn't make the sack. You're not close. Close means his butt's on the ground, period. I mean, so close, we're not close. Let's go win. Then we're close. Yeah, you won, but we were close. Yeah, we won.
Vance, with these freshmen getting more playing time, would you look at Duke Thomas or John Bonney at safety? Can they play there?
That's always a thought, is moving guys around, getting the best players on the field. And we talked about Duke at one time playing safety, John Bonney playing safety, those type of scenarios. So all those things we have talked about. Right now Bonney has had some work dating back to 2-day camp at some safety work. I mean, so he's been there before. Duke will jump in there based on some coverages that we're doing right now, and had some half field work and some center field work. So both those guys have done some of those things.